there was crafts. I found a baby roof. Why are you laughing, James? Oh, it's moldy. There's a spider in it. Look at that. Spider. Are we on?
Yes.
We are?
Yes.
Oh, I should have gone to the bathroom.
Porter Davis to the set? Has anyone seen Porter Davis?
I am not Porter Davis.
Andre, you need to be in the green room.
James, I can't find the green room. I'm colorblind.
Andre, I do not need this right now. Porter Davis! Andre!
Yes.
Andre, you need to do me a huge, huge favor.
All right.
Okay, you need to say, welcome to the SCAT report.
Do I breathe afterwards like you did?
Oh no, Andre, say, welcome to the SCAT report.
Welcome to the SCAT report.
Andre, I need you to tell it to the camera.
All right. Welcome to the SCAT report.
Andre, back up.
Hi, how are you?
No, Andre, back up.
Let's back up.
Stand
Back
right
up.
here.
Stand here.
Look into the camera.
And begin.
Say, welcome to the SCAT report, Andre. Andre, no, this camera right here. Please, Andre, please.
I
please.
prefer.
Okay, right now. Go. 1,
Now.
2, 3.
Welcome to the SCAT report.
Okay, Andre, that's fine. Just hold,
Okay,
hold.
Andre.
No, stop, no.
Stop.
One more thing. Say,
One more.
next up, the news desk.
Did you shave?
Okay.
You did. Next up, the news desk.
Okay, good enough.
Just the desk by
That's
itself,
good, we gotta
that's
go.
terribly
We gotta go.
funny.
Somerville Community Access Television presents Eye on SCATV News with your SCAT Eyewitness News team, featuring anchor Teal McGrath and business reporter Venkatesh Dixit.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to the SCAT Report. I'm Teal McGrath, and in our top stories, breaking news. My colleague and fellow anchor, Fitchburg Brickbottom, will not be joining us tonight or ever. Turns out Fitchburg was lost after trying to find parking in Harvard Square in order to avoid getting towed for outstanding unpaid Somerville parking tickets. Fitchy, you will be missed. Wow, that Green Line extension just cannot come fast enough to Union Square. Turning to our top story. The Massachusetts Supreme Court today declared that police officers do not have to change into their civilian clothes when off duty. The ruling comes after the court took up the case of an off-duty Somerville police officer who, still in uniform, stopped a drunk driver. The drunk driver, a man with 7 DUIs to his record, claimed that the stop was not legal because the Somerville officer should have changed into civilian clothes before stopping him. The court upheld the Somerville officer's actions, overturning a lower court ruling saying that they were not going to implement a, quote, Superman rule where off-duty police would have to change into civilian clothes before interacting with civilians. However, the court did implement the Batman rule, in which off-duty police officers must dress up as millionaire playboys and brew darkly before interacting with the public. Well, later in our broadcast, we're going to be able to see an interesting story about how government regulations are shutting down a local Somerville business. And we also have some interesting interviews with some people. Keep watching.
Hello, and merry. Welcome to Chats with Andre. I am Andre. And I have a very special guest with me this holiday season. Whoop-dee-doo. Do you know that song? Because I can't stand it. It's Kristen, is it?
It is.
Kristen. God rest ye, Kristen, gentlemen.
It's something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kristen, I understand that you are a yoga master.
Yoga teacher, not master.
You teach yoga. Do you now yoga? Do you have to put special things in it to teach people how to eat it as well?
It's not something that you eat. Actually, it's something that you do. So I think you're talking about yogurt, like the white stuff.
Yes, that
yeah,
makes
no,
me
not-
have
not-
diarrhea.
Yeah, well, we don't want that. That would be
No.
unfortunate in yoga, which is when you're in
Yes.
a public class. So diarrhea in that class would be really unfortunate.
I just stopped listening for a moment. I'm sorry. So, yoga. It sounds like Yogi Bear. Do you do bear-like motions when you
Yes.
do yoga?
Yep, definitely.
Does it hurt?
Depending on the person.
Yes, and if you were doing yoga with a bear, I suppose that would be terribly painful.
That would be very painful.
Would you like a York peppermint patty?
I would love one.
There.
Thank you so much.
It's plastic. How does one do yoga?
Would you like me to show you?
I
But
think everyone would like that.
the thing is that you have to do it with me.
Do it with you.
Yes.
The yoga or the eating of the plastic York peppermint patty?
I think the yoga would be more feasible than
I'm
eating
ready.
this.
I
Okay.
ran for 13 seconds,
Okay.
all in one go
Great.
today. So
So-
I'm very limber.
The first step is that you need to take your shoes off.
My Crocs?
Yes, take your Crocs off. I'm going to take my fancy sneakers off. Yep.
Back where I'm from, we would take off each other's shoes.
Oh,
and
I'm happy
sniff
to
them.
take off your other shoe if
I
you want
would
me
be
to.
delighted.
Sure.
Just
There
the
you go.
corn. Watch the corn.
Well, is it okay? Do you
Yes,
want me to
it's
kiss it
fine.
better? No?
Yes.
I was kidding.
Oh.
Let's get on our yoga mats. Here, I brought one for you. I green and red for
Green
Christmas.
and red.
Yep.
If I could tell the difference, I would be ecstatic.
Well,
Now,
that's green.
how do these work? This is enormous.
Okay, so
It feels like a lichen.
a lichen. I don't
Yes.
even know what a lichen is. Actually.
Nor do I.
All right. Well, let's put it out on the floor. Just roll. You know what's
Let's
really fun?
put it out on the floor.
it
That's
out
what we
and-
used
yep,
to say
exactly.
before we went on stage. Put it out on the floor, Kristen. This
Okay.
is for long people.
So, well, you seem to be very tall.
Yes.
So it's good for you.
Yeah.
Let's come into a pose on all fours. This is tabletop pose.
Oh, shall I get on the table?
Nope.
Because I've done that before.
Oh, well, I'm sure
when I
you
needed
have.
extra money.
Okay, well,
So-
it's not that. Though.
No.
No. So hands under your shoulders.
All right.
Under.
Am I on red? Oh, it's like Twister. I've done this before. All right. Someone spin. Could you? Where's the cat? She's not doing anything.
Okay, so do what I do.
All right.
Hands down.
Hands, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Lift your butt up to the air, like this.
I'm just going to watch yours.
No.
so-
See, it's not a spectator sport. You
Oh.
have to participate.
Oh.
So your butt up in the air.
Up and I don't think. All right.
Drop your belly down. Lift your chest up. Yep, just like that. Beautiful. Now reverse the process. Curve your spine.
Oh, it's.
Drop your head.
I once played a bridge off Broadway.
This would have been helpful
Yes,
for preparation.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is cat and cow. So
Cat and cow.
cow, tilt.
I can see the difference.
Yep, and then cat,
And cat
like an
is.
angry cat.
And
Like, yeah, you can even do that.
you can. Is that
Sure,
part of the-
totally. We can go into cow, and you could.
Cow.
What does a cow say? I spent a weekend with a
Oh, I'd have to-
19-month-old.
Oh, you did?
I did. So
Oh, were you teaching it yoga?
a little bit, but mostly I was saying, what does the cow say?
The cow says, God damn it. Moo.
And then what does the cat say?
Cat says, meow.
Very good, good.
I feel like I should pay you $10 an hour.
Well, maybe you should. I'm happy to
Yeah.
accept donations. Let's now come into downward facing dog.
Downward facing dog.
Yes. Walk your hands
Oh,
forward.
it sounds like a good play.
Tuck your toes under.
Once played a dog in West Shropshire.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And now lift your knees up.
And lift my knees up
Yep, off of the ground.
and begin.
And drop your head.
Drop my head.
Yes. And breathe. You're doing so great. Okay, drop your knees down
Thank the maker.
and sit your hips back to your heels.
I just sweat out all the water in my body.
I know, I see some water coming out of your
Yes.
forehead.
It comes out of every porous.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you sweat often? I see no glisten upon you.
Not very frequently.
Oh, well, you could have some of mine at any moment.
Okay.
If I turn my head quickly, perhaps you would be spatted upon. That was fun.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
I'm staying here because I can't get up for several minutes.
Well, we can make sure to have someone help you.
Oh, well, this has been exciting.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I think perhaps you could teach this to children and pets.
I think I could.
Yeah.
Yep. There's pet yoga called Doga.
Doga.
For dogs.
Well, you have been a splendid guest.
Thank you so
I would
much.
like to thank you for coming
You're
to
so
Chats
welcome.
with Andre. This has been, what's your name again?
Kristen.
Kristen, who eats yogurt every day. Thanks for coming to Chats with Andre.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Help? Can you? No? All right. Okay, good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, where's my
I'll
medicine?
just leave these here for now, the yoga mats.
You do that. I'll sit here.
Dear readers, an unseasonably warm winter's day in the Ville puts one in the mind to dress in the fashion of equatorial islanders rather than Yuletide revelers. Meanwhile, the voice lines of Mr. Graham Bell, which you will remember were first publicly demonstrated when Dr. Watson phoned the Boston Music Hall from Somerville, have been vibrating incessantly with word of the encroaching verdant motorized streetcar. The Ville waits with anticipation for the legislature to undo the heavy state purse strings, for the ambition is, dear readers, if you can believe me, to make this transportation extend beyond our Ville and on to even the bucolic fields of Medford. The question about the many squares of the Ville is just what our pastoral brethren in that hinterland will do with this newfound mobility. And the news today also brings us the announcement of a new neighborhood, apparently to be instantly conjured like a brigadoon on the once desolate plain of the Assembly properties. Indeed, our good mayor has foretold of luxury living, springing from the muddy ground at first thaw. Let us hope, constant readers, that our Icarus-like ambitions have solid enough wax to their wings.
Hello and welcome to PCTV. I'm your host, Jonathan Snively Gently. And here we have our special guest. Well, all of our guests are of course special, just as you, the viewer, are special. One of our many special guests, Santa Claus. Welcome.
Well, I'm very happy to be here.
And I see you have abandoned some of your normal regalia and appear to be wearing shorts.
Thank you. You know, there's still 19 days before...
The 25th of December.
Right.
Excellent, excellent. Well, why don't you have a seat and join us?
Thank you.
So, Santa Claus, what will you be doing in the time running up to the 25th of December?
Well, you know, I've got to be going through all of my list.
I'm sorry, list.
Yes, you know, the list that divide up the children.
Divide.
Yes, you know, the list that divide children that have been nice and children that have been...
I'm sorry, could I stop you there? We don't use the N-word on this show. It's not really done.
Well, I was just going to say...
Well, no, it's not necessary. See, there are two words starting with N that you can use on this show. So, I might ask you if you could take a small suggestion.
Which is?
Okay, well, perhaps instead of the N-words, which I think producers, might I use it in the context of educational purposes, of course. The traditional N-words, naughty and nice, could be perhaps supplanted with something more palatable. For instance, normal words like naughty and nice, it can leave kids feeling hurt and a bit damaged in their self-esteem. Consider perhaps great and getting there, or perfect and pretty darn close, or even better, awesome and at least not a drug dealer. What do you think?
Okay. How about their behavior sucks?
Well, I think we can agree, in fact, that in fact it is the behavior that's bad, and not the children themselves. Hate the sin, but not the sinner. Oh, bollocks, now I've gone and used the S word. Well, moving on, if we could, do you think you could give us a sample of that famous laugh of yours?
Certainly. Ho, ho, ho! Merry...
I'm sorry. Yes, that would be quite enough. Ho, 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 it's so, I don't know, rap video. Don't you think in these videos they demean women? Isn't there another way to express yourself?
I don't think that really captures the essence of...
Well, I don't think that's a particularly evolved response on your part. And what about this coal business? I've been told that you're in bed with the coal lobby.
What?
Well, you know, you're putting them in children's stockings. Surely they're involved somehow?
I really don't do that.
I'm sorry, the evidence points to, in fact, that you do.
Well, that's a load.
Well, consider perhaps other energy sources, like, I don't know, putting a lithium battery in a children's stocking.
I'm sorry.
Well, let's move on, shall we, to the reindeer. How are those reindeer anyway?
Well, they're really great. They've been spending the whole summer grazing a lot there.
So they are free-range reindeer?
Why, of course.
Well, that's wonderful. Have you considered using other animals, perhaps? Other things to tow the sleigh, being more inclusive? Like flying squirrels, or duck-billed platypuses, or paper airplanes.
I don't think a paper airplane is an animal.
Okay, look, perhaps we're getting a bit far afield. I don't even know why I'm interviewing him. Santa Claus is a figment of my imagination. I was told he didn't exist when I was 5 years old. This whole Christmas business in general is a cock. Well, in fact, you're not even really fat, are you? What are you even doing here? What? This show is beneath my dignity. Well, I think on that note we should end this interview.
Somerville Community Access Television presents Eye on SCATV News with your SCAT Eyewitness News team, featuring anchor Teal McGrath and business reporter Venkatesh Dixit.
And welcome back. And, could one of you feed my meter, please? Thanks, it's in the usual spot. If you're like me during this festive time of year, your thoughts go to hot chocolate, sleigh rides, and maximizing your charitable contributions. Well, every Tuesday here at the SCAT Report is Business and Finance Day. And here with us today, as always, we welcome our business and finance reporter, Venkatesh
Dixit. Thanks, Teal.
Sure. So Venkatesh, you're here to talk to us about the climate for small business in Somerville, and it appears that recently a very industrious young man was allegedly trying to bring a biotech right here into Somerville.
Yes, entrepreneur Genkin had a typical startup. It started up in his home on Oxford Street.
Conveniently located right next to City Hall.
Very convenient, however, it doesn't look like he'll be getting any permits anytime soon.
What happened?
Well, this young entrepreneur was in business with his mother. The operation, a biotech, was run right out of her house.
Real shoestring, huh?
This young man wore many hats in his enterprise, similar to many entrepreneurs. Steve Jobs, for example. He was not only the CEO, he was the VP of Manufacturing, the VP of Distribution. Now, as you're aware, our mayor, Joe Curtatone, is currently courting CEOs of biotech labs to move to the Assembly Row project. But apparently, this isn't what the mayor had in mind.
What happened?
Well, the Somerville police, as well as federal authorities, actually raided the facility and confiscated much of their product.
And what was this product?
The biotech industry calls it methamphetamine.
Oh, crystal meth.
Some do call it crystal meth, but the proper name is methamphetamine.
What a shame. Things really are tough for small businesses out there today.
And it gets tougher. The young man will perhaps be facing several years in prison.
Ooh. And the Somerville High School is just right around the corner from that street.
Yes,
Oxford
perhaps
Street.
this young man would have boosted the local economy by hiring students as interns or delivery people.
Wow, things are tough all around. Now another story about another business in Somerville having a little trouble.
Yes, Walmart is to move next to the Home Depot in the Assembly area, but many residents are up in arms.
And what will be the financial impact of Walmart moving in or not?
Very big. Very big.
But in numbers, could you quote some numbers for us?
It must be in the millions.
Really?
Millions. Yes. Big. Big.
That's what you got? All right, and there you have it from our crack finance reporter. The impact will be big. Thanks, Venkatesh.
Anytime, Teal.
Coming up next, some interviews with mammals.
Hi, I'm Porter Davis, and it's time for Left Right Kitchen, where we believe there are never too many cooks in the kitchen. During last week's show, we had special guest Democratic Chairman Howard Dean and former White House strategist Karl Rove, and they were wonderful in teaching us their various strategies for stuffing a turkey. Well, today is the special holiday version of Left Right Kitchen, and on my left, we have two very festive cooks. On my left, we have Democratic cooking strategist Lowell Sullivan, and on my right, GOP baking advisor Arlington Alewife. Welcome, Arlington and Lowell.
Hi, Porter.
So glad to have you with us. So what is on the menu for today?
Well, Porter, first we'll be mixing up a punch.
Oh.
And as you know, Arlington is never one to pull a punch.
I've always admired your sense of humor, Lowell.
So what is the name of this punch?
Well, it's called Christmas Carol Punch.
Oh, how delightful.
I thought it was going to be called a December Embrace Punch.
Oh, are we having a little gridlock?
No. Christmas Carol Punch would be fine.
Lovely. So tell us about this Christmas
Porter,
Carol.
I would just like to submit an amendment to the title.
To the title?
Yes. I'd like to submit an amendment that we add with a twist of pomegranate.
Really? Is this a statement about Afghanistan?
Afghanistan?
Yes, the Afghanistan people are substituting pomegranate in their fields to get themselves away from the opium trade.
Or the Taliban, like you see in many reports.
Okay, I think we should move on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Oh, and pomegranates are a bit expensive.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. How do you plan on paying for those pomegranates, Lowell?
Well, I think that there are probably some richer ingredients in the punch, Arlington, that could possibly sacrifice for people that don't have as much.
I have an idea. Let's take this to super committee.
No, that's all right. No,
okay.
no, that's okay. I think that that's fine. Maybe we can substitute for pomegranate. It would be okay to say with a twist of lemon.
Lime. Lime. We'll do lime. Yeah.
Okay, lime.
They always cave.
Okay, so tell me about this Christmas Carol punch with a twist of lime.
Okay. Well, first we're going to add a nice Christmas red juice, and it can be cranberry juice.
Oh, that's very
Look at that red. Yeah.
Oh, that's very red.
Yeah. So red and deep
Yeah.
red.
Well, what you
Wow, you're
probably
really filling that up.
want to add a little blue juice to that too. For our Jewish friends who might be celebrating Hanukkah or something, we'll just add that right in there, and that's right. Oh,
look at
that's
that
look
color.
at that. Liberal amount of blue. Yes.
And then you want to add a conservative amount of sherbet. Did you remember the sherbet, Lowell?
Oh yes, I did, Arlington. It is it's rainbow sherbet. I hope you don't mind. Yeah, nice and inclusive there. We'll just put that right in there. Oh, very nice.
And then
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to add some ice cubes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow, they seem to be melting pretty quickly.
Yes, they do, Porter. Under these man-made lights, the ice seems to be melting quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not the lights. Okay, they're ice cubes. They're melting because that's what they want to do.
Okay.
What's up next, Lowell? Do you add anything else to this?
Yes, we do. With the ice cubes melting, yes, we'll add a
touch
little
of
green in
lime.
there for it. Yes, this is the touch of lime, Arlington. Right in there. Very
Wow,
good. Yeah.
Look at this concoction.
Well,
Okay.
I like to add a little bit of oil because it just aids in the digestion.
Well, that could be.
Yeah.
That
And then, okay, we're just going to stir it up.
yeah. Well, that looks a
and
little bit.
voila.
That looks a
would
little
you
bit.
like a big glass porter? I got a glass right here.
That looks a little bit rich for people. It might be tough for them to digest. So I think that for the consumer protection, we just want to add a few Tums in there preemptively. How about that?
I think people should be responsible for their own digestion system, and they should be able to eat whatever they want.
And that's why we have an obesity epidemic in this country.
Well, I did bring my no-calorie sweetener from home that I'm going to add now.
Has that been FDA approved?
It's been tested
On what?
on naked mole rats.
And how are these rats?
Well, I'm happy to report that now they are classified as dogs, yes. So they have really made a step up that evolutionary chain there. So go mole rats.
Wow,
Pour
look
just
at,
a little
look,
bit in there. There we
look
go.
at that punch.
Okay, who's thirsty?
You know, I'm actually on a holiday fast right now, but maybe I'll catch you next time on that. So, I think you've got one more project for us here.
Oh, yes.
And what is that next project?
Well, actually, we are going to share some holiday tips on decorating cookies.
Yes,
Oh, how
because
delightful.
everyone loves Christmas cookies.
Christmas cookies, right. So I just have some ingredients for sugar cookies right down here. I'll just get
excellent.
those.
I actually brought some from home that I baked myself, just to start us off.
Oh, that was so thoughtful.
Yes, that was very preemptive of you.
Well, the holidays are upon us, and you can't be too prepared.
I just would have been a little more diplomatic about things.
Yeah, sure, you'd be wallowing in your diplomacy, and then Christmas could just explode right in your face while you're dithering over the ingredients.
Okay, so Lowell, could you just give us some tips on decorating these cookies?
Sure, Porter. I see that, of course, Arlington only brought vanilla cookies, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll deal with that. I like to first add a liberal amount of frosting. I like to use blue, putting that on there. Just
Wow,
a
you're
lot.
really
Yeah.
covering that
Oh,
cookie.
yeah. Yeah.
Love
Well,
it.
you see, you want to get about 99% of the cookie with the blue, right?
Oh, that's
yeah,
very
that's very
nice.
good. Yeah.
Well, I brought some red.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. We can put that on, Arlington. We'll just do a representative, just a little bit, like a 1, like that would be good. 1% right there.
Well, the 1% actually provides 99% of the flavor. Okay, so I think it should be better represented like this.
Oh, wow. Look, we're all working together here on
Yeah, well,
Left Right Kitchen.
we do need probably some alternative to that, so we'll just put some green sprinkles on there.
No. It really should be gold because that's more in the holiday spirit. So,
I think it all looks
Porter,
just lovely.
Arlington, that's too many sprinkles.
really, too many sprinkles. Yeah. Well, you know what this needs, is some oil. Because it's not my fault that you taxed the cookies with far too much frosting. So I'm gonna add a little oil for moisture.
Oh, okay. And maybe I should go get my hair dryer, and we'll just power that off with some wind power.
Okay,
That's-
great. Doesn't that just look yum? Yum. All right. Well, that's all we have for now. Thank you for tuning in, excuse me, to Left Right Kitchen. Next week we're gonna have 3 special guests: Sarah Palin, James Carville, and
Carolyn Kennedy
Carolyn Kennedy. Yes. No.
is Is Carolyn Kennedy?
No,
Is that
no,
who
we
you
were
wanted
talking
to
about
say?
the guest for next week. I want Caroline Kennedy to be on the show. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. The third guest is
You can't name a third guest?
no.
Rick Santorum.
No, I can't. The third. Sorry.
Oh my.
Oops.
Somerville Community Access Television presents Eye on SCATV News with your SCAT Eyewitness News team, featuring anchor Teal McGrath and business reporter Venkatesh Dixit.
If life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Really? It's winter. That's just what a local bank is doing. And here to tell us about it is our finance correspondent, Venkatesh
Dixit.
Yes,
Thanks, Teal.
certainly.
Yes, I spoke to the VP of Prospect Bank, who's improving customer service in Somerville by installing dedicated bank robbery teller windows.
Wow, tell us about this new innovation.
Well, after doing some market research, Prospect realized that robbers were some of their most frequent customers. They have a lot of demands, and it can be a little frustrating for the other patrons.
Oh yes, anybody in Somerville certainly knows that feeling.
Yes, you...
I mean, you just go in for a normal transaction and like getting quarters for your meter,
Yes,
and then you're suddenly in a hostage situation.
Yes, it can be very frustrating for the robbers as well. Prospect found that their complaints are that they sometimes have to stand in line for hours behind other folks with heavy automatic weapons and hot woolen masks.
Wow. And I would imagine, given their line of work, that they'd want to get in and out pretty darn quickly.
As fast as possible. They decided that they would set up dedicated windows. For locations along Highland and Broadway, they even have a drive-through window just for bank robbers.
Wow, well that should certainly speed things along. Oh, and when they go through, do they get a lollipop?
Hopefully so, Teal. In fact, they're looking at making robbery an option on many ATM menus.
Wow, very innovative. Now, how about the online market? Do they have any approach for that?
Oh, they're way ahead of the competition, Teal. The new bank robbery app will be available on your iPhones this spring.
Wow. What about Blackberries?
What about them, Teal?
Well, it looks like somebody's making eggnog out of nog. All right, well, coming up next, we're going to do some more stuff with some people. We're going to see them do stuff with other people. Just come back.
Hello again, and welcome to Chats with Andre. I am Andre, and this is a holiday special. And speaking of special, I have a nephew who's very sick. But apart from that, I have a special guest with me who is a wonderful, wonderful person who I have no idea about. James, is it?
Yeah.
James. You know, I have an intern named James.
Okay.
And by intern, I mean he can be a bastard.
Oh.
Yes, but he's very good at providing me with tissues. And you look like his twin if he looked completely different. So I hear, James, that you have a nickname. Boffo, is it?
No.
Bosco?
No. They call me Moonshine.
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 We would often drink moonshine before a theater performance.
Yeah.
Yes, it would help us to give a little bit of realism. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Make
so, what?
Make it work better?
Yeah,
That's
everything
how it makes
works
me work better.
Yes.
Yeah. Moonshine
I
always
find,
does.
Yes. It doesn't look very shiny. It's confusing.
Well, it is clear. I mean, it's
Yes.
like water.
Yes, and urine often comes out clear after drinking.
After drinking moonshine,
Yes,
that's correct.
and I've said too much. So you are a bike enthusiast.
You could say that, yeah.
I could say that. I've done it. I have said it.
Excellent.
I would like to say it again.
Do you have an electric bike?
Electric
Yeah, 'cause
bikes?
you older people like those electric bikes.
Do they make bikes with electricity?
They do. I don't consider them bikes anymore.
No, it sounds like an instrument of torture. Do you sit on the bike and will it to go with the electricity from your body? Because you should rub your head with a balloon.
Ooh, I like this. I like where this is going. We can make a new bike that's powered by balloon energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't open this moonshine.
Do you need help?
With this, yes, if you could. Why don't we used to do this? See?
There you go.
Now you make the wish, and mine will come true. That's how we do it.
I see.
So, do you these electric bikes? Do you own one?
I don't. No.
Shocking.
No, I like to use my legs to power these bikes.
Yes, legs are very good for many things. We would often have to kick the rats away when we were on stage in East Shropshire. They would come right on stage. Oh, but we would bike on stage as well, but the rats couldn't get us.
Oh, okay.
So, what is your favorite climate? Is that the right term, climate? Is it? Hi. She's never seen. She's an orphan. Yeah, the climate, yes. Is it? Do you like rugged terrain or the sissy path that they have in Los Angeles?
I like the sissy path.
Yes.
I hate Los Angeles, but I like the sissy path.
Oh, it must be a torment for you. Yes.
No, I go to, like, Wisconsin's got the sissy path, like, all the way through. It's gorgeous.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I see you have...
Somerville has the same thing.
Somerville has a...
Rails to trails.
Rails?
That's called the sissy path in your terms.
It is?
Yeah, apparently.
I fell asleep internally for just a moment.
Oh, God.
Yes. Now, these helmets you have...
I do. I brought some helmets to show you that something that is... It gives you dates. It gives you dates on the helmets.
I haven't had a date
since
I played Hamlet. Oh, this. May I try this?
Sure.
This helmet? Yeah. It is. Oh, it's like a turtle husk.
It is. It definitely is like a turtle husk. Protects your noggin like a turtle husk protects its turtles.
I would like to try it. It's... Oh, yes. I feel... There.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Now, will this protect you from crashing?
It would have when it was made back in 1994.
Oh, this is an antiquity.
Oh, it is.
Oh, I don't want to break it.
Just like the antiquity I have in my head.
Ooh.
Which you should try on as well.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me of the old days of theater football.
Right, exactly.
We would do our lines while crashing into each other.
Right.
So this clasp here looks very...
It's very complicated.
Like
I can
a
help you with
torture.
that.
Oh,
It is.
please.
It's like total torture. I hate putting these on. So, slide it through there.
Oh.
We'll choke you in the chin a little bit.
It's very firm and sturdy.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, this was once a form of torture for women to keep them silent.
That's what I heard. Like a chastity belt.
Yes.
But for the mouth.
For the mouth.
I know.
Which can be dangerous, everyone. Please remember. Danger. So I can still talk.
Right.
Can this be removed at
No, of
any
course
time?
Oh, it's hard
or
to remove.
Is it trapped on my head for eternity?
There you go. It's a little trapped on your head.
I like it.
Isn't that nice?
Old school.
Old school.
Yes, I got the moves like Jagger. Old school. So how many bicycles do you own there, Sunshine?
I probably own about 15.
Wow,
Right now?
15.
Yeah.
The number of Christmas. And it looks like we don't have even 15 seconds. We are out of time. Thank you so much for coming, Moon Knight.
You're welcome.
And I am Andre. Happy holidays. I can't get this off of my head.
Good morning, everybody. This is the Homilist, and this is where we talk about things that we heard in church. My name is Father Pike. We're doing this on the YouTube because my brother-in-law's son, he said that's where everybody can watch it on their phone and stuff. He works for Fidelity, so he knows what he's doing. We heard a story in the gospel this morning. Jesus was tired, right? And who can blame the guy? He's out there, he's preaching, he's feeding like 5,000 people, he's arguing with the elders. Guy's walking on water. He gets back in the boat. You know, think people would be, oh, Jesus, that was sick, man. That was awesome. But no, they're like, where's my next meal coming from? It's enough to drive anybody crazy. So they retired to the land of Tyre and Sidon, which is in Canaan. The apostles, they had a problem with this because they don't like foreigners. They're like, hey, Jesus, this is Gentile land, you know. But we know, us, because we heard in Romans this morning, that Paul, he had no problems speaking to the Romans. But the apostles, they're like my cousin Ed, you know, he would never go to Montreal. He doesn't speak the language, doesn't eat the food. Even if he gave the guy Bruins tickets, he wouldn't go. So as if to confirm their worst fears, this woman comes running up to Jesus. She's like, hey, Jesus, my daughter's possessed by demons. Can you cure her, Jesus? Jesus is like, oh, man, demons, I'm trying to get away. You know, the apostles like, we're going to get rid of this woman. She's pissing him off. Jesus turns around. The woman, he says, listen, why would I give the blessed food, right, to a dog? And the woman, she's not taking it, right? She's like, zing. She's like, even the dog gets the crumbs from the master's table. Jesus is like, you are all right, you know, and I think that's something we should all think about. So I'll see you next week on the Homilist.
Hi, I'm Porter Davis, and it's now time for our Tuesday's Child segment. During the segment, we share with you, our viewers, a profile of a child in need. It is our hope that by learning about this week's featured child, that a family out there who perhaps has always dreamed of having a child of their own will see this profile and desire this child, and then a child will have a new home. And this would especially be nice in that it is the holiday season. So this week's Tuesday's Child is Milo. Milo is playful, likes to read, draw, bicycle, play with his toys, and listen to music. Let's meet Milo. Here he is. Milo. I see Milo is playing with one of his toys right now. Oh, I have a text. Excuse me. Oh, Milo has texted me. Okay, yes, the show has begun. Please look up. Send. Hi. All right, let's get started. So, Milo, tell us about yourself.
Hi, it's Milo.
Oh, so sorry,
yeah.
Milo.
I'm 25. I'm what you call an artiste.
Great.
And I don't need much. I just want, you know, a nice place to live, a nice roof over my head, maybe a garage, like, I don't know, some basic things like a studio, some privacy, maybe some bikes for the back once in a while. You know, just.
Do you have health insurance?
No, a turn should be awesome.
Okay.
And maybe just, you know, some respect and no judgment on me, especially when it comes to my recreational activities.
Ah, great. Okay. Do you go to school, Milo? Milo?
Yeah, I graduated in 2008. I majored in learning about myself and in English.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, 2008. That was a terrible year to graduate. Oh, and my phone is vibrating again. Excuse me. Oh, you're following me on Twitter. That's great. So have you had any jobs since you graduated?
Yeah.
Yeah? What did you do?
Well, you know, we all know that jobs are like social constraints on us, given up to us by the man, and they just oppress, you know, your inner mojo. But I have had jobs, and an assortment of them to say. I was a bike courier, like a messenger. I worked as a barista at Starbucks, and I dealt some stuff.
Wow, so you've had quite an array of jobs since you graduated.
Yeah,
Goodness.
and right now I'm actually working on like my magnum opus in my life, my piece de resistance, my soul project. It's actually a comic book series.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Could you just tell us very, very quickly about your comic book series?
Oh yeah, it's about this bohemian guy who thinks he can get through life and, you know, finds his way in the universe. It's much like me, and he thinks that when he's in a jam, it'll provide for him. Maybe like there's an unlocked car, or there's this house that'll just be open for him, and he can get in there and find what he needs.
Oh, very, very interesting. Great. So now, do you have any dietary restrictions if a family were to adopt you?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I do only get veggies from Davis Square Farmers Market, and I have my bread, which is totally gluten-free from When Pigs Fly.
Oh my gosh, I am exactly the same. That's so amazing. Great. Well, it looks like we are just about out of time, and so Great. I want to thank you so much for being here. And if any of you are interested in adopting Milo, just call right into the station and we'll set you right up. Thank you so much for joining us on Tuesday's Child.
Dear readers, winter is approaching the Ville, and the shadows are lengthening even before the bankers have shuttered for the day. As if to ward off that encroaching darkness, the concourse aside the Ville government offices was host to an illumination of the grand conifer. Our re-elected mayor himself presided. A fitting start to the merry season in which our good citizens themselves array their dwellings in all manner of lighted displays. Indeed, it is rumored that in the month of December, travelers on the western plains of our states have been turned about in their journey, mistaking our good Ville for the aurora borealis. And, my constant readers, on the same night my walk found the eclectic merchants of our own Davis Square, co-opting that Advent practice of the midnight mass. Indeed, stores of all kinds were open late into the evening, themselves attempting to ward off a kind of fiscal darkness encroaching. For the local Bureau of Transit has issued a fiat consigning all weekend Underground Rail travelers this winter to motor coaches for the stretch of route beginning at Harvard Yard. And what a brightness this mass provided! Gifts for loved ones, and a midnight cupcake for your humble correspondent.
I'm Summer O'Brien, sports correspondent for the Scat Report. Sports correspondent with my own show about sports, Daddy, in case you're watching. Now, many of you may know that Somerville is host to the Militia, a semi-professional organization that operates at Dilboy Field. There are many women involved in this, and tonight we have a special guest from the Militia, Kabul Magoon. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Summer.
Well, it certainly has been an exciting season. How does it feel?
Great. Always looking forward to our next opponent.
Well, Kabul, spoken like a true head coach.
I prefer the title Commander.
Okay, Commander. Well, let's get to the stats. I love the stats. I mean, Daddy and I would read the stats all the time. I would read them in the kitchen, and then my dad would read them with Tommy in the other room.
I see.
Tommy was good at sports. But back to you. Okay, so what is your game plan that has made you so successful?
Well, Summer, we believe in a lot of preparedness, you know?
Yeah.
We like to drill and drill and drill.
Yeah, practice doesn't make perfect, huh? Perfect practice makes perfect. That's what my coach in college used to say.
Well, that was well said.
Yeah, thank you. I played Division I field hockey, and my brother played Division III baseball.
Great.
Yeah, thanks. I could have played men's ice hockey, but they wouldn't let me. Imagine that. So how did you get ready for the surge?
Well, Summer, we're not exactly government military.
I know that. I know that. But, what do you think? I think the Miami Dolphins is a bunch of trained dolphins playing football. I mean, come on. I know that, Daddy.
Well, Summer, I would really like to clear up some misconceptions about us. I mean, I don't want people going around thinking we're a bunch of crazy kooks.
Why would people think you're crazy? I mean, women playing sports, even football's not crazy. Not crazy at all. I mean, I played sports. I played sports in high school. I have 12 varsity letters, and Tommy only has 8. It's a fact. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, are you just out to protect your homeland, do you think? Or?
That's exactly and precisely what we're all about, Summer. We're just here to protect our homeland.
Yeah, your turf, right? Yeah, I understand. I will protect this house.
Something like that, yes.
Oh, but back to your strategy. Now, do you use the West Coast or the option?
Well...
Or do you use the run and shoot?
It's more like that.
Okay. Can I play for you? Oh my God, can I play? That would be so exciting.
Well,
I would love
sure.
that would be great. When do you practice?
Very early in the morning.
Oh, and when are the games?
Games?
Yeah.
This summer. We take things pretty seriously.
I do. Sports is my life. Daddy, it is.
Summer.
Yeah, we kind of have to wrap it up. I mean, that's pretty much all the time we have for now, but it was so great to meet you. Big coach, I look forward to playing with you. This is so exciting.
Well, thank you.
Yep. And next week at Christmas, Tommy, get ready with the basketball because it's going to be you, me, horse. Got it? Get it? Good. So nice to meet you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Homilist. This is where we talk about what we heard in church, in case you missed it. It's all right, though. I'm Father Pike. This morning we're doing this on a new webcam we got from the Radio Shack, so it should look a lot better. So we heard a story this morning. It's about Jesus. He was talking. He's doing a lot of talking. He's up on the Mount doing the Beatitudes. At night, he still has to talk. He's around the fire, because he's trying to teach the apostles. But they don't have the brightest bulbs in the circuit. Jesus is always like, I was kind of talking about this stuff all day. I thought you guys were listening. Because Jesus, he was a carpenter's son, but he was also still a really good student. He'd study his Torah. And the apostles were fishermen. They're out there in the water. They're fixing the nets at night. Some of them are tax collectors, so they got other things to worry about. And then Judas Iscariot, nobody really knew what he was doing there. So Jesus would tell them stories, right? Sometimes drawing pictures. So he's telling them a story about the shepherd. And they're all like, oh, okay, yeah, we know some shepherds. Jesus is like, yeah, he has like 100 sheep, but one of them runs away. And, it gets lost up in the hills, and you got the thunder coming, and the sheep is like, oh, this wasn't such a good idea. But the guy shows up, the shepherd, and he gets him, he brings him back. He's like, hey, guys, look, I found him. I love this guy. And they're like, yeah, we kind of were wondering where you were. It's like my sister. She has a daughter, Catherine, wicked smart. She's going to Villanova on a basketball scholarship. But her son, Tommy, he's in the Bricker House of Correction. He stole a school bus in the blizzard, but they still do stuff together. That's what Jesus is saying. He's saying this is a crazy world, guys, You gotta look out for each other, all the time. Because wherever two of you there, then I'm there too. I think that's something we should all think about. So let's see you next week on the Homilist.
Do you need some support from,
Oh, actually.
Is anyone good for the punch?
Oh, sorry. I can't.
Thank you for watching. I'm Teal McGrath. And that's it. Thanks. We're done. Thanks. We don't have internet? Come on!
It keeps you going.
Here, have a good one. Here.
That's the time for love and everything. I still don't believe you.
Great job.
Drink it.
Drink it. There's oil in it.